รายการต่อไปนี้เป็นรายการทั่วไปสามารถรับชมได้ทุกวัย
สนับสนุนโดย AIS 4G Advanced 4G ที่เร็วที่สุดจาก AIS
รุ่นใหม่ Isuzu D-Max 1.9 DDI Blue Power
World Camera Clearance Sale ที่ World Camera สาขาลาดพร้าว
But isn't it strange that someone from South Korea when building a university in North Korea?
Yes, it's a very
Very strange.
strange. I am proud to tell to you our divided 70 years of the divided history. I am the only the person politically united. And I'm South Korea, Seoul Metropolitan Honorable Citizen. Also, I am Seoul, South Korea.
Oh, yeah.
In many ways wanting to help people here to understand how, if they go to the outside world, they can engage with that world, and also to find out what knowledge is there in the outside world, which they can themselves use and incorporate into their own understanding and their own work. I think it was one of the leaders of this country said something like, you have to stand with your feet planted on your motherland, looking outwards to the world.
Right.
And that's really what we're involved with.
ไทม์ไลน์สุดที่ใจอยู่วันนี้คุณเทพใจกับผมยังอยู่ที่เปียงยางครับแต่ว่าคราวนี้เราจะพาไปมหาวิทยาลัยที่ผมคิดว่าแปลกที่สุดแห่งหนึ่งของโลกทีเดียวครับคุณเทพชัยครับเพราะว่าเป็นการสอนภาษาอังกฤษทั้งหมดครูที่สอนนี่ก็เป็นชาวต่างชาติซะส่วนใหญ่คนที่ก่อตั้งก็บอกว่าไม่เก็บเงินนักศึกษาอาจารย์ที่มาก็อาสาสมัครไม่มีเงินเดือนให้แต่ว่าเป็นนักศึกษาที่ฟังภาษาอังกฤษได้คล่องแคล่วเปรียบเทียบกับนักศึกษาไทยผมก็เชื่อว่าโดยเฉลี่ยแล้วเนี่ยเด็กที่นี่มีความรู้ความเข้าใจภาษาอังกฤษมากกว่าเด็กไทยพอสมควร
ครับมหาวิทยาลัยเปียงยาง University of Science and Technology นะครับหรือว่าเรียกชื่อย่อว่า PUST นะครับคือเป็นชื่อที่เวลาไปไหนก็จะใช้ชื่อนี้นะครับน่าสนใจมากเพราะว่าลักษณะของตัววิทยาลัยเองการบริหารจัดการนี้ก็แปลกแล้วถามว่ามันเป็นเอกชนหรือเป็นของรัฐคำตอบของอาจารย์คือมันเป็นของเอกชนแต่บริหารโดยรัฐครับซึ่งฟังดูมันก็ยังงงๆอยู่ว่าตกลงแล้วมันเป็นของใครกันแน่นะครับก็ต้องยอมรับว่าในเกาหลีเหนือทุกอย่างรัฐบาลต้องเข้ามาควบคุมหมดละนะครับเอกชนจะออกตังก่อสร้างขึ้นมาแต่สุดท้ายแล้วหลักสูตรการบริหารจัดการก็ต้องให้รัฐบาลมาควบคุมเพราะเกาหลีเหนือก็เป็นประเทศที่รวมศูนย์การปกครองอยู่แล้วนะครับรัฐบาลมีอำนาจเหนือทุกอย่างเพราะฉะนั้นจึงไม่น่าแปลกใจว่าหลักสูตรทั้งหลายก็ต้องผ่านการเห็นชอบของรัฐบาลนะครับอาจารย์ถึงแม้จะเป็นต่างชาติมาก็ตามเนี่ยก็ไม่ใช่ว่าจะทำตัวแบบสบายๆจะออกไปไหนเดินไปไหนได้
ไม่ได้ครับ
ต้องขออนุญาตก่อนนะครับยิ่งถ้าออกจากบริหารวิทยาลัยแล้วไปข้างนอกเนี่ยก็ต้องไม่ใช่ว่าใครอยากไปไหนก็ไปได้หมดนะครับต้องมีการขออนุญาตต้องมีเหตุผลต้องมีอะไรเนี่ยมันก็ยังมีความเป็นการควบคุมในสไตล์เกาหลีเหนืออยู่เยอะทีเดียว
คือวิชาที่สอนเนี่ยต้องได้รับอนุมัติจากเจ้าหน้าที่เกาหลีเหนือและก็ห้ามสอนอะไรที่ไปเกี่ยวข้องกับเรื่องการพูดคล้ายๆกับเชียร์อเมริกา หรือมีความพูดวิธีสอนที่ทำให้มีการวิจารณ์เกาหลีเหนือไม่ได้เลยนะครับซึ่งก็แปลว่าทุกอย่างเนี่ยต้องสอนตามกรอบที่กำหนดเอาไว้ที่นี่ครับมหาวิทยาลัยชื่อเปียงยาง University of Science and Technology หรือว่าชื่อย่อว่า
PUST นะครับ PUST นะครับดังมาก
ครับ
ดังมากเลย
มหาวิทยาลัยที่น่าทึ่งมากครับสอนภาษาอังกฤษอย่างเดียวเลยมีนักศึกษาตอนนี้ประมาณสัก600คนตั้งมาได้ประมาณ6ปีมาเยี่ยมที่นี่ได้เจอทั้งอาจารย์เจอทั้งนักศึกษาที่นี่ที่น่าทึ่งมากก็คือว่าอาจารย์มาจากเมืองนอกอาจารย์ที่เราเจออังกฤษอาจารย์ฝรั่งอาจารย์เกาหลีแต่ว่าสอนภาษาอังกฤษหมดนักศึกษาที่นี่เนี่ยก็ต้องเรียนภาษาอังกฤษหมดปีแรกมาต้องทุ่มเทเรียนภาษาอังกฤษก่อน
ครับนี่เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของความพยายามของอดีต2ผู้นำใหญ่นะครับ
คิมอิลซุงกับคิมจองอิลนะครับที่ต้องการสร้างคนเกาหลีเหนือรุ่นใหม่ ที่มีความรู้ในการสื่อสารทางภาษาอังกฤษได้ เพราะก็รู้ดีว่ายังไงถึงแม้ว่าประเทศนี้จะเป็นประเทศสังคมนิยมก็ตามนะครับจะถูกมองว่าเป็นประเทศปิดก็ตาม แต่ก็ต้องสื่อสารและค้าขายกับโลก เพราะฉะนั้นก็จำเป็นอย่างมากที่ต้องสร้างคนรุ่นต่อไป ที่สามารถสื่อสารกับนานาประเทศได้ เพราะฉะนั้นเขามองว่าภาษาอังกฤษจึงเป็นเครื่องมือที่สำคัญมากน่าทึ่งมากครับเพราะว่านักศึกษาที่นี่ทุกคนพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้หมดเลยนะ
ใช่ครับ
เราได้เห็นในเวทีของการแลกเปลี่ยนความเห็นกับเจ้าของรางวัลโนเบลเนี่ยคล่องแคล่วมาก
ใช่
นะครับพูดจาแบบฉะฉานภาษาอังกฤษนี่ถึงขั้นว่าดีเยี่ยมก็ได้นะหลายคนที่พูดนะครับ
ดีเยี่ยมดีปานกลาง
เออ
ที่แย่จริงๆเนี่ยเราจะไม่เห็นเลยซ้ำไป
ครับ
และผู้ก่อตั้งมหาวิทยาลัยแห่งนี้ก็น่าทึ่งมากครับ เป็นคนที่บอกว่าอดีตผู้นำสองท่านเนี่ยมอบที่ตรงนี้1 ล้านตารางกิโลเมตร1 ล้าน
ตารางเมตร
ตาราง
นะครับ
เมตรเนี่ยนะครับ ซึ่งก็ใหญ่มาก ตั้งโรงเรียนนี้ขอให้เป็นการสอนวิทยาศาสตร์และเทคโนโลยี เป็นภาษาอังกฤษสร้างเด็กรุ่นใหม่ที่พูดภาษาอังกฤษได้ และผู้ก่อตั้งคนนี้แหละ ที่เราได้สัมภาษณ์ด้วยเนี่ยนะครับก็ไปตั้งโรงเรียนทำนองนี้มหาวิทยาลัยทำนองนี้ที่เมืองจีนซึ่งอยู่ติดกันชายแดนของรัสเซียและของเกาหลีเหนือนี่แหละครับทำให้เป็นคนที่บุคลิกก็ค่อนข้างแปลกนะครับ
ครับ
ร่ำรวยมาจากสหรัฐเป็นคนเกาหลีใต้
ครับ
แต่ว่าไป
ที่
ทำ
จีนถ้าหมากินที่จีน แล้วก็มาช่วยก่อตั้งมหาวิทยาลัยแห่งนี้นะครับคำถามใหญ่ที่ผมก็เชื่อแน่ว่าทุกคนที่มาที่นี่ต้องถามว่า แล้วเอาเงินเอางบประมาณมาจากไหน ในการทำให้มหาวิทยาลัยแห่งนี้หรือพุชแห่งนี้นะครับสามารถที่จะดำเนินกิจการได้เพราะทุกอย่างฟรีหมดนะ
ใช่
นะครับอาหารการกินก็ฟรีค่าเราเรียนก็ฟรีที่อยู่ก็ฟรีหมอ
พักฟรีหมด
อาจารย์ที่มาสอนจากต่างประเทศ ซึ่งเป็นฝรั่งเยอะแยะเลยนะครับอเมริกันอังกฤษจากบราซิลก็มีประมาณ 60-70 คนเนี่ยนะครับที่อยู่ฟรีหมดอาหารการกินฟรีหมดเลยนะครับคำถามใหญ่คือเรื่องเงินมาจากไหนท่านประธานของมหาวิทยาลัยแห่งนี้ก็ตอบว่าผมมีแบงค์มีบัญชีแบงค์ที่ไม่มีจำกัด เพราะพระเจ้าให้มา คือพูดง่ายๆคือมีเงินต้องการเงินเมื่อไหร่ก็มีเงินเสมอ
คือเขาก็เป็นคริสต์ด้วยครับ
ครับ
แล้วเขาก็บอกว่าคือเพื่อนฝูงเขารวมไปถึงองค์กรที่บริจาคเงินให้เขาเนี่ยแล้วเขาเองก็เป็นเศรษฐีร่ำรวยมาจากทำธุรกิจที่อเมริกาบอกทำวิกขายเสื้อผ้ารองเท้าขาย แล้วบอกว่าขายธุรกิจมาหมดละเงินที่กำไรรวยมาเนี่ยก็จะทำเรื่องการศึกษา สร้างสันติภาพ อยากจะให้เกาหลีเหนือเกาหลีใต้รวมกัน
ครับ
อยากจะให้ประเทศเอเชียรวมกันเพื่อสร้างความเป็นอันหนึ่งอันเดียวกัน โดยผ่านการศึกษานี่แหละครับ เราก็ได้พูดจาสัมภาษณ์กับทั้งท่านผู้ก่อตั้งทั้งอาจารย์ทั้งนักศึกษาน่าทึ่งมากครับ ที่นี่เกาหลีเหนือ คิดไม่ถึงเลยครับว่าจะมีมหาวิทยาลัยลักษณะอย่างนี้ครับ
So can you first tell us how you came to teach here?
Yes, for me it started back in 2008 when I heard about the possibility of coming to this country as a professional person rather than just a tourist or a short-term visitor. And I decided that that was something that was an exciting opportunity, and in fact it was an exciting opportunity for me. So I finally arrived in October 2010 when we first started teaching classes here.
You must have some kind of perception of the country before you came then. What was it?
Well, my perception was very limited because the media information, especially in those days, was very restricted. I knew it was a one-party state, that it was a dirigiste, a directed economy with an old-fashioned top-down economic management along what some people call socialist principles. I didn't know a lot else. It was very much a closed book, although I had done some study about Korean history and culture before actually arriving here.
And now what's your impression of the country after being here a few years?
Well, my impression is it's a lot more complicated than the stereotypes. That's the first important thing to say. The people here are like people everywhere. They want to have a nice life, bring up their family, have a comfortable home and the usual pleasures that we all enjoy, eating and drinking and so on. That's their basic attitude, the same as people the world over. Of course, the political framework in which they operate is more complicated.
You teach capitalism here, right? Doesn't it sound a bit strange teaching capitalism in a communist country?
Well, I don't teach capitalism, I teach the economic principles and the management techniques that are used in the Western and world system, which most people would refer to as capitalism. I'm not preaching capitalism. I'm not preaching anything in that sense. I'm presenting the academic understanding of that system and what money is, how it works, what management is, how that works. I hope that will help the people to develop their activity here and to engage with the outside world.
But they're used to a socialist system, a very restricted system, and you are teaching a very open system. How do they take it, the students here?
Well, it takes some time for them to understand because they don't have the context that we have. Say a Western student has been brought up from childhood in a liberal open market system.
Yes.
But our students are very bright, they are academically elite, they are definitely good at mathematics and other core subjects. And so they actually grasp the concepts very quickly and they can understand systems and processes and markets. If I teach supply and demand, they understand that very rapidly, that concept.
Aren't you afraid of being seen as trying to brainwash the students here?
No, I think I'm trying to educate them. Well, where does education stop and brainwashing begin? If you don't allow reflection and understanding, you don't allow choice, you don't allow investigation of truth based on evidence and facts and analysis. And that's fundamentally what we're teaching, irrespective of the subject. Scientific inquiry requires that our students should question accepted truth and investigate new knowledge through experiments and through research in their science subjects.
Are there any rules, either written or not, on what you may be able to say or not?
Well, we stay away from political statements. That's kind of taken as read. And as regards our teaching material, that has to be approved by the authorities here. So I can't just present material to students ad lib. It has to be pre-approved before I use it.
But what you say is more important than the textbooks. What you say in the classroom.
Yes, yeah.
And do you get arguments from the students?
What kind of interaction that you have with them?
Well, discussion, not
Discussions, right?
Yes, argument sounds like entrenched positions and a lack of understanding. But I would like to stimulate discussion. In fact, I sometimes, using what some call the Socratic approach, I ask questions. I stimulate the students to make proposals, and then we discuss amongst ourselves what's a reasonable conclusion. So the idea is to help them to think, not just to argue an entrenched position.
But how active are they in this kind of discussion? Do they interact? Openly.
Once they begin to understand, obviously the first level, level 101 courses in economics or something, they need a lot of basic groundwork first. But then, as we go forward, they become more interactive. In fact, if they become interactive, I know I'm doing a good job as a teacher. If they're just accepting and not reflecting and even arguing a little bit, then I'm probably not doing a good job.
If I were part of the authorities, I would suspect, or I would have some serious doubts about whether my students would eventually believe in what you want them to believe. I would be very careful. I would check on you.
Yes, that's understandable, and that happens. That happens. Yes. So if I'm seen to be promoting something in an inappropriate way, then that's going to cause problems for me. But as I said before, I'm not promoting something. I'm introducing an understanding of a system and explaining the mechanisms, how it works. In many ways, wanting to help people here to understand how, if they go to the outside world, they can engage with that world, and also to find out what knowledge is there in the outside world, which they can themselves use and incorporate into their own understanding and their own work. I think it was one of the leaders of this country said something like, you have to stand with your feet planted on your motherland, looking outwards to the world.
Right.
And that's really what we're involved with.
What have you learned from being here?
I think I've learned, I've learned that I enjoy teaching. I enjoy teaching students who are eager to learn, and that's what I found here. And I think I've learned that life is usually more complicated and not as simplistic as it's often portrayed to be. And with no disrespect to gentlemen in the media, sometimes the media stories are oversimplified or stereotyped in some way.
สนับสนุนโดย AIS 4G Advanced 4G ที่เร็วที่สุดจาก AIS Euro Cake อร่อยทุกที่ทุกเวลา Premium Outlet Factory Outlet ของแบรนด์เนมระดับพรีเมียม เมทิโคโบลตัวยามิโคบาลามินรักษาโรคของระบบประสาทส่วนปลายซึ่งอาจเป็นสาเหตุหนึ่งของอาการชา
Right. And in the process, you also learn about the socialist system here.
Yes, indeed we understand something from that, although we don't discuss that in great detail with the students usually.
So what kind of questions are there that the students normally raise about, capitalism? There may be things, I'm sure, there are things that they have a lot of questions about.
Well, almost everything. Yeah, they're extremely hungry, hungry for knowledge. Yeah, so anything and everything I can tell them. My own personal experiences as a business person. I'm not a long-term academic. I had a career in business and in engineering and marketing, and I can tell them a lot of anecdotes about my different experiences. So they're always interested to know those things.
What are the rules for you? What you can say, what you can do, what you cannot?
Well, the main areas are that we don't discuss political or philosophical topics. That's inappropriate in this context. There are some specifics that are also sensitive in terms of what our material should or should not say if it's seen to be in some way glorifying some alternative system or culture, then that's also sometimes problematic.
And your teaching materials, do they have to be screened or inspected?
They're pre-approved by the DPRK side leadership in the university, yes.
So you can just say you have academic freedom here.
We have academic freedom but with boundaries.
Which is different from universities, say, back in the UK.
Yes, although you could probably get some negative comments about what they may or may not say even in Western universities if you want to keep your tenure.
That's right.
Yeah, they can be pressure sometimes.
Yeah. And what did the professor and students here have expectation? What kind of expectation do we have for this forum?
I think they are delighted and honoured that such prestigious guests could come. That's the first thing to say. And I think they're really hoping, as we've already seen just now, that there will be some learning from the presentations by the laureates, but also opportunity for questions and answers and real interaction.
This is a rare occasion.
Well, it's a little bit rare, but actually every 2 years we have an international conference. In fact, these are not the first laureates to visit our university.
Right.
We've had a previous Nobel laureate in chemistry, Peter Agre from the US. He's been here twice to our international conferences.
Right.
And so at those conferences we have quite a lot of prestigious speakers of various sorts from outside, and the students get a lot of interaction with them at that time as well. And that's 3 days, not just 1 day.
Yeah.
And what have you learned from being here?
I think I've learnt well, I've learned that I enjoy teaching. I enjoy teaching students who are eager to learn, and that's what I found here. And I think I've learned that life is usually more complicated and not as simplistic as it's often portrayed to be. And with no disrespect to gentlemen in the media, sometimes the media stories are oversimplified or stereotyped in some way. And what's exciting to me is to live here and have my feet on the ground, as it were, long term, and building a relationship that works in the long term rather than just a quick visit.
Do you teach in the English language in each university?
Everything is taught in English, yes. Even our non-English native speaker professors have to speak in English for their classes.
So the
yes.
students who come here would have to have very good basic English.
Well, yes, they have a year of English. The undergraduates have a year of English
Before they
start the majors. But they also come in with very good English. And actually, as a British person, I could, well, claim some reflected credit for that, in that it's the British government
Yes.
has for many years sponsored teacher training of English teachers in this country. So there are many North Korean teachers teaching English in schools here in Pyongyang and in other cities and throughout the country who have been either first-hand or second-hand trained by the British Council in teaching English. And that definitely has had a great effect on
So you have a
quality.
British Council here.
The British Council has a team of not teachers but teacher trainers. Yeah.
And the students here are some of the best ones in the country?
I would say they are from the academic elite, yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So they must be from elite families?
Not entirely, no. I mean, yeah, I won't comment on the sort of class system or whatever you might call it in the country, but the students here essentially, from our perspective, are selected for academic elite reasons. It's their skill in core mathematics and science topics and their English ability. Those are the criteria that we insist on.
Will you have students from the rural areas?
Oh yes, some of our students come from country towns and villages, and we ask sometimes their parents and family background. Part of English, you write an essay about your family, for example, and they're from many different provinces. They're not just from Pyongyang, and they come from some of the smaller towns and cities as well as the big ones.
So say a poor family with a son or a daughter, you have those
We have some girl students now, yes.
be
yeah,
able
yes,
to,
yes, yeah.
to come here? Say from an average remote area family?
Well, I would expect that if they were a good pupil in their earlier years in their schooling, they would be identified. One of the features of a directive system like this is that talent of all sorts, gymnastic talent and musical talent, so they're all identified during school years, and that talent is then nurtured. And so we have the opportunity of picking up students like that.
How do they pick them up? Through examinations?
Well,
entrance
that's
exam?
done by the DPRK side of the university. So we have a kind of parallel leadership. So they go out and recruit and select the students and then bring them to us. We specify what we want, but we can't do individual examinations and so on.
So how many students now?
We have nearly 600 now. So bachelor course of about 100 a year over 4 years, and then master's courses, and also now some postgraduate doing doctoral level studies, doing basically research.
Is free? Is the tuition free?
It's all free, and it's a campus, so they live with accommodation and food and everything all provided. Yes.
Wow. And how is the university funded?
Well, essentially by outside charities. It's not a government operation of any sort.
Interesting, yeah.
The government here provides some personnel and obviously the land and so on, but the construction and the operation of the university has been founded by through a foundation which is essentially a Christian charity, and then many of the support groups are actually Korean and other churches throughout the world that are actually
from outside the
sustainable.
country.
From outside this country, yes, yeah, from the south and from the US and other countries where there are supporters.
Interesting. It's not a government school.
Not at all government sponsored, no. We're completely independent of government.
But you follow the government's regulations.
The government here, we have to follow their rules and procedures, yes. Yeah.
So how should we describe the status of the university? Is it private? Or
You could call it a public-private partnership.
public-private
Yes, I
partnership?
like the word partnership
Okay,
because
partnership.
there is a parallel leadership and we discuss and agree together the curriculum and the syllabus for the different courses and so on. Yeah.
Quite an interesting concept.
Yes.
And how many foreign professor lecturers we have here?
We have about 60 or 70, not always here at the same time. Some come short term, they have tenure some other place and they come just in the summer or for short teaching programs. Others are here much longer, like myself. So about 60 or 70, and then there's various family members and administrators and so on as well.
So how are you paid?
We're not paid at all. So the whole thing is a charitable foundation, and the staff themselves are volunteers. Some, like myself, are, well, I wouldn't say wealthy, but have privately capable of coming or have retired and have a pension and so on. Others are supported by some kind of sending organization, such as an aid organization that then provides them with expenses and stipend and so on. But the university itself doesn't pay salaries.
So it's sustainable, you think?
We believe it's sustainable, yes. Yes. It's a different business model, but it's sustainable.
Yeah. Quite unique.
I think it is in many ways, yes.
Is there
yes.
any university of this sort in the world, as far as you know?
Well, there have been others, and there are others. In fact, this is, as it were, the number 2 university for our own foundation, because our founder and president, Dr. Kim, Kim Ching-kyung, or James Kim,
Yes.
he first of all founded a university in China, in the Korean minority region of northeast China. And that was 25 years ago now. And that was the same basis, that it was a public-private partnership, the outside charitable foundation combining with the Chinese government as partners in that university.
He's a South Korean.
He's a South Korean, but he has US passport, and he has honorary citizenship of Pyongyang, given to him by the late great leader Kim
So he's
Jong-il.
the president,
yes.
right?
He's the founder and president of this university, yes.
He
Foreign side, yes. Yeah.
But he was the one who was on the stage.
Yeah, giving the honor to the guests at the beginning, yes.
You should talk to him.
So he was a wealthy businessman before?
He had a business career, yes. He was born in the 1930s, and so he actually experienced the Korean War. And you should ask him for his story, but during that war, he basically had a personal transformation from hatred to peace and love and concern, and then he wanted to work that out, and founding this university, first of all founding the Chinese university, and then this one is kind of the ultimate outworking of that vision that he had.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Colin,
Thank you.
Thank you. So you are postgraduate, right?
Yes.
In what area? What field?
We are majoring in finance.
Finance.
We are majoring in finance. So we graduate. First grade we graduate 2014. So we are first graduate undergraduate students in
First group, huh?
yes.
First group.
Undergraduate,
First
So-
undergraduate.
I majored in management as an undergraduate student, but I changed my major
To
at
finance.
graduate school. Yeah.
So why did you choose to study here?
Excuse me.
Why did you choose to study here?
Well, I think every person has different reasons, but personally, well, in former university, my major was geology, which is very different from management of finance. But as time goes by, I became more and more interested in finance and management field, so I decided to change my major. And the other reason is here we can receive English lectures from native speakers. Yeah, that's one of the advantages of coming here. So.
And you, why did you choose to come here?
Yes, my previous university was Kim Il-sung University of Technology,
Kim Jack.
University.
Kim
Yes.
Jack. Yeah, we were
Yesterday,
there. Yeah, we were
yesterday,
there
yes,
yesterday.
you had a meeting.
Yeah.
Also,
Why did you come here then?
also I was. It's very foreign professors around the world, so it's very. Sometimes it's curious. So how education is going, and so I will choose, and so I was decided to major in finance because finance is a more important fact in economics, as like banking and etc. factors. So I liked come to Pust. So also I learned a lot of things from many professors all over the world. Yes, it's very.
Is it difficult to get in here?
Not really.
Is it competitive? You have to sit in examination.
entrance exam.
I don't know what others might think, but personally, I think it is not very difficult to come here. I mean, the examinations were not very difficult to me.
Okay. Okay, so one last question. What do you think of today's exchange with the professor, the Nobel Prize
It was great to meet Nobel Prize winners here at Booth. Actually, we met I think 2 Nobel Prize winners prior to this time.
before?
Yeah, before. We had 3 international conferences at Booth. And I think every time we met Nobel Prize winners, I had the chance to meet Nobel Prize winners and to listen to their lectures.
And when you study with foreign teachers, do you get to know about the world, the outside world, more than at Kim Jack or at Kim Il-sung University? You think you get to know the world more here? Because you get to
It
meet.
depends. It depends on how hard we study, actually.
Sure. Depends on how hard working you are.
Okay.
So are you hard working? Huh? Yeah. So when you graduate, what do you want to be? What do you want to work as?
Well,
What do you want to be?
I'm going to be a professor at university.
Professor.
And you?
It's because I majored in finance. I was.
So when did you be a teacher?
Yes.
University lecturer.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Okay, all the best to you.
Good
Huh?
luck.
Okay. All right.
You have 2 universities,
2 universities.
and they're very special universities
Yes.
because they're private.
Yes.
Even here in Pyongyang,
Yes.
how can you be a private university in this country?
Uh,
Why
then,
did the great leader trust you?
สนับสนุนโดย ครั้งแรกกับกระจกนิรภัยกันคลื่นแม่เหล็กไฟฟ้าคอมมี่ป้องกันอันตรายได้ทั้งมือถือและตัวคุณ
Mr. Jin Kwang Kim,
Jin Kyung-jin.
founder of the Pyongyang University of Science and Technology in Pyongyang.
Pyongyang. And another one is Yanbian University of Science and Technology in China.
In China. You have 2 universities,
2 universities.
and they're very special universities
Yes.
because they're private.
Yes.
Even here in Pyongyang,
Yes.
how can you be a private university in this country?
Well, this is everyone say that's a miracle.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, this country, our great leader, Kim Il-sung, great leader, Kim Jong-il, they honor me.
Yes.
So they give me the really great privilege opening this kind of the international university in this country. So we are Korea, we are world,
Yes.
just politically divided. So emotionally, some kind of physically, spiritually, we are one. You know? Only politically we divided. So I am so thankful to this government,
Yes.
and they allow me and give me the permission. Not only permission, they honor to me and build some kind of the private university
I see.
in Israel. Communist country, not communist country, did that. Juche country.
Juche country.
Juche, not
So-
communist.
So what?
Juche
yes.
Why
then,
did the great leader trust you?
oh, that have a lot of stories. You know. But just very simple. If we love each other, so always I say, I'm not capitalist, I'm not communist, I'm a loveist, L-O-V-E. If you love each other, do you have a girlfriend?
Married.
If you have I'm a girlfriend, you have to love each other, everything you like to give, you know?
That's right.
So you feel happy, like
true.
that. So, if you really love, no fighting, no hating, the love. So, myism is a loveism. And Chinese,
Now you hold an ID card for what country? What nationality? What citizenship are you?
so I have four.
Yeah, 4, huh? South, North.
South, North, Americans,
Okay. Chinese?
and the Chinese government gave me permanent citizenship.
So when you started this university, why did you choose to have it in English, teach in English? Why?
Because Korean teaching university already exist here. Kim Il, just you been Kim Il Sung
Yeah,
University, Kim Chaek
Kim
University,
Chaek.
you know. So this country people, our country people must be member of the international society. So if you do not know language, you cannot integrate with the international society. So because also all professors, main subject teaching all professors is English speaking world people, Europe, even United States, and our Korean, overseas Koreans, and their common language is English. So English language makes something spirit of the unite. You know?
That's right.
If you do not
Uni-
speak any language, you cannot make it unite.
that's right.
You know, should be. So I forming this university, our official language is English.
And the great leader agree with that.
Oh, sure. So why? Give the permission. No?
And this land was given to you by the.
Oh, yes. Yes, by government, not that the one government, the government had a cabinet meeting. And they gave this land to open the international university.
How big?
1 million square meters.
1
million
Million.
square meters.
Yeah.
This is how
Biggest-
far
is
from
it-
Pyongyang? How far from the center of Pyongyang?
Just, it's a Pyongyang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very near.
Suburb.
Very near. You
So,
just came.
so area-wise, is this the biggest? I mean, of university campus,
yes.
the biggest.
Yes.
I see. So
We
where?
are developing step
I
by
see.
step.
And where do you get the money to fund the operation of the
Well,
university?
It's very miracle stories.
Miracle.
Even we do not receive any tuition.
No tuition.
No tuition, free, all free.
Everything
The
free.
student doesn't pay any
Every-
tuition.
no tuition.
Lunch is free.
The meal free. Everything free. Air is free. Rating free. Yes.
So where does the money come from?
Money comes always, I say, and Bank of Heaven.
And back heaven.
Bank of Heaven comes from.
I have unlimited credit.
Limited credit.
Anyway, and all, who love this country, love these people,
I see.
they donate.
Donations.
So
donations from around the world.
it is.
Is it enough? The government doesn't give you any money.
No money. Government is enough to that they give me the permission.
I see. And your money too. You have your money also contributed.
Yes. So anything.
Yes.
So we eat as you eat, 3 meals a day, as much as you can eat, as like the cafeteria, and we have here and the sauna, everything, like a small
small
town.
city. So yeah.
A small town. So anyway, so I like to say, and our Asia also, if we are now southeast, southwest or southeast,
Southeast Asia.
is Asia. You have the organization union,
Yeah, committee.
So now, peacefully now you are living,
Yeah.
So I hope it can develop Northeast Asia. Also, we can have that's only the way. We must learn from Europe Union, only the way. If we have the union, United Asia, nuclear program automatically resolved. This country is worried about big country going to
Attack.
attack. So if we make the political union come,
No threat.
nothing worry.
No threat.
Everything. Very simple way of we have the peaceful life. But this is a very simple way of the governing system. And big countries do not agree. So big country, because Europe do not have big country. France, Deutschland, England, British, Britain, so they had together.
But what do you think of reunification of Korea?
Well, only God knows.
Only God.
This is a very.
But you think that one day
Oh, sure,
two
sure.
Koreas will be reunified?
Yes, unified.
How soon?
If we have
in your
no.
lifetime? In your lifetime?
We don't know. Only God knows. I know you say, and I don't think it's just merely North South became something politically unite. Only way we can resolve the things. Just I say, we have the Northeast Asia Union. Every country have happy, peaceful life, prosperities comes,
But you must have
So
China,
even
China, Japan,
over
and Korea.
Yes, Japan, China, Korea, Mongolia, include East, Northeast Russia
Yeah, Russia. Yeah, Russia.
As a union.
Union,
Yes.
like that. It's very simple. But politicians, they do not do it like this, So these kind of things, if big country have an initiative, they do. Now, the territory, meaning nothing. Now, internet,
Yeah.
IT,
Anywhere.
society, physically, geographically, about the territories, meaning nothing. So I hope our Northeast country leaders can understand bringing as like a Europe Union
Now,
to
you
here.
may play the role of the bridge. Try
Yes.
to make this happen.
Yes,
What is the future of this university? What do you plan?
future, future. This because of this university, we have the union. Many country professors came here. We have no border.
Are they paid?
Yes.
They say they volunteer, some of them.
Some of them, paid, everyone, So, this is really some kind of example, example. So, many outside people, something criticizing, about DPRK. But we are very happily. We get complete freedom operating this university. Now you are stand here on the center of the place. See?
And the professors, the teachers are from around the world.
All around the world. Quite a few of them Europe,
Yes.
and even America.
What are the restrictions on them? What can they say? What they cannot say?
Everything freedom,
Everything.
everything free. No restriction.
Okay. You
Okay.
are a billionaire. Where did you make your money
No,
from?
no, billionaire.
Where did you make your money from?
What business do you have?
I had a business in the United States.
Yeah.
And what
And,
in what area?
Area. I was in Florida.
Florida, yes.
Yes.
Florida.
And I had because many black people they wear wigs.
Big.
At that time, and about nearly most of them they wig made South Korea.
A big, big
about-
made in South Korea.
Yes, 1960s.
1960.
So, and also clothes and shoes, something like that.
You started
So your
off.
business was wigs and clothes and
Clothes, shoes.
And you made a lot of money. And you wanted
Yes.
to use
Now
your,
I sold everything, that money I used also with my close friends and my who has agree with me and co-organizations, workers, and we now and since the money is for use,
money is for use.
not save,
Donations.
not save in bank.
So donations.
Yes. So
You're also a Christian, right?
yes, yes. So why I say, many of them asking like you, where does money come? I say, I have unlimited credit at the Bank of Heaven.
Okay.
I show you the New York Times when they wrote.
You remember you?
I give you yes.
Okay.
I give you.
Give it to me. Give it
Okay.
to me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are.
Okay. Thank